Eriko. Hey guys, long time no see. It's Kabi Sakura. You all are probably wondering, like, is she dead or like where has she been? Well, allow me to explain. August has been quite a crazy month, you could say. And from what I've heard, what's been going on for all the YouTube community and everyone in general, that August has been the most, like, not that much interesting or uplifting, even crazy month. The reason why I had a big, not so good August is because literally the first week of, before I start school, in other words, my last week of vacation, I caught this weird cold and it got me to the point of having a fever. And, you know, I was on vocal rest that day, oh, well, that week. And what's weird is that, like, you would think that a simple little cold, you would get it, you know, done for basically a week, maybe. But nope, as soon as school started, I was still still sick for that whole week. And let me tell you, it's not that fun when you're a vocalist and a singer. So I had to, like, not sing at all. My nose was, runny, it was congested. It was just a nightmare, you could say. And I was so worried because the week after that, I had to perform. So I was really nervous, so I also went to the school nurse's office, and she gave me some antibiotics and prescription, you could say. And it actually made me feel a little bit better. It got my nose, not congested anymore. My voice felt a little bit better. I just have to make sure that I'm on vocal rest and I don't strain my voice. And yeah, for vocalists who are listening out there, that's the most important key, is to keep your voice healthy and strong, especially, which I'm going to talk about now. The reason why I've been busy is because in August, also before I got sick, I was with rehearsal with my professor sorry. You can tell I'm still quite asleep. Anyway, at her home, I always take her private lessons to, learn some new repertoire stuff. But in this case, I am proudly to announce that this semester, fall 2016, that I am going to be having my recital. Sophomore, that is. Because when you go for the process of being a music major, you get to have 3 kinds of recitals. One sophomore, then junior, if you wish, and then your senior recital. What these will do is to help you out, prepare you for an audition, prepare you how to get a job, and also perform your own show. Serve, like, for instance, like Renee Fleming and other stuff. Other idols, Adina Menzel, Michael Crawford, etc. So, being a music education major, I am proud to announce that I am preparing for my summer recital. So we've been going out, getting my outfits. Well, my mom and my friend, anyway. For my teacher, we've been practicing music that, I kid you not, have not sung since 2011 and 12. So you can imagine how hard it is to sing different languages that you haven't studied for so long, and with a different professor. So what's fun about going back to your music that you haven't sung in so long with a new professor is that you get to have a different intake. So I had a lot of fun, and I learned something that I did not understand back in the day, because as y'all may or may not know, I have autism. So I do not really understand, meaning behind poetry and stuff like that, because it's a language problem. So, being as a, 25-year-old adult and going through the poetry to the music, it actually makes sense, because when you're singing it, you actually understand the behind the poem of what the poet is going for. So that's really interesting about going through your music that you haven't sung in a long time and actually reanalyzing it. So what we are going to do for my recital is that we are actually doing our rehearsals in our choir room because I have already am in a class in the choir room, and once everyone's done, I get to stay there and do my rehearse my pieces, just for a little bit. It's just only an hour rehearsal. That's the average you could do for your lessons. And I highly recommend you go to, if you're going to be music majors, definitely take the opportunity to go for the music program, whichever you're in, because you'll have a better chance of getting free lessons, because the average amount of lessons you have to pay is like 500 up to 800. I know, it's crazy. So always take that opportunity. And it's not for music. I'm sure there's for theater, there's also for art. Like I say, I tell everyone to go for it and just do it, take the opportunity. So this month and last month has been pretty busy for me because of that. Also with school starting, and thank God I'm only taking one general ed, thank God, because that's my main focus, is doing the recital, because for recitals you have to prepare at least 13 and more songs, and in my case I have to prepare 13 songs. Yeah, 13. So not just in English, but in Italian, German, and French, and an aria. So piece. So in my case, in the aria piece, I decided to do Italian, Sape Fareste, by Verdi. And it is very interesting because I'm only used to singing one to two songs for the applied music program, but when you're doing a recital, you have to do it by sets. So you do set 1, you sing your Italian, then take a break. Set 2, you sing your other pieces. Like for me, I have 2 Germans and 2 French, so once I'm done singing those, then I take a break, and then here comes the aria, set 3. After that, take a break, and then finally, my 4th set is English, and then finally take the final bow. But when I say take a break, it's not that much of a break. We will have an intermission, but in terms of break, it's like just taking a little, 1 to 2 minutes just to relax my head, get the simulation out. So that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, that was awful, or oh my gosh, I did it. So it's just time to cool off. And we artists, not just vocalists, instrumentalists, we definitely need that too, because I recently went to a concert for a pianist, an amazing pianist, by the way, at LACMA. She had to take sets as well. So even though she's doing one piece, it's quite a long piece she's playing. So after she's done playing that one particular piece, she walks off the stage and just cools down a bit, and then she goes back after the announcer. Which, by the way, in LACMA, fun fact, if you go to LACMA on Sunday nights, you're on air live. Like, they're playing it live on air. For those who are listening in the radio, you're actually there though. So that's why I feel me and my mom, we've been going to LACMA ever since I heard about it in the music program in 2010. And let me tell you, when we hear either babies crying, cell phones going off, coughing in the middle of a pianist moment, a quiet moment of the piece, and crunching up wrappers which you're not supposed to take food in the first place, kind of gets me in my mouth to go like, because like they're actually recording this live. So you can imagine if you're in the radio and you're hearing something like, what, is this part of the piece? What? So yeah, that's part of me and my mom's phobia, is that or fear for the artist, is that because my mom, she's actually was an acting major. She loved to perform on the stage, and me, I'm a vocal major and I perform on the stage. So we just get a little bit sensitive for as the audience, for the person performing, because they work so hard and we don't want them to be disturbed. Also, flashing photography, by the way, that's another thing, because they'll really like disrupt, like, what? And then they lose their place. So that's the main important thing, is to not do that. But anyway, all in all, that's what I'm preparing for, is my recital, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm still am still kind of nervous because I have pieces that are pretty hard, even new ones actually. It's not just the old, it's the new ones I'm fearing. Like Samuel Barber, my god, I love that composer for vocalists. Even though it's an English piece, his meters change, so you gotta like really analyze not only the poetry, the text, but analyze what he is going with. So that's why you don't like screw up on the meter and the counting tempo. But that's when that's the most important not yeah, very important, but that's the most exciting thing about doing a recital is that it'll prepare me once I transfer to university, and you know, after my education, I could hold my own recitals outside because my friend, for example, she graduated from the college that I came from, and she is holding her recital outside of school. So she gave connections to our pianist, who I'm going to be working with. She did a recital of her own, and that's a great thing of holding your recital, is that you get to do your own programming, you get to send out your own flyers to people and that is really fun to learn about. That way you could give the audience what they haven't heard or what they have heard. And that's basically about it, guys. So I know people in DeviantArt, they're like wanting me to draw stuff, but again, from being sick and being busy with school and preparing for my recital, that's going to be pretty impossible. But I have doodled in my sketchbook of what I wanted, draw in color. But with all this going on, it's impossible to post stuff. It's just really busy nowadays for me in the case, because also I'm applying for universities. I'm getting ready to transfer, and I'm going to be graduating next semester, so it's going to be a lot busier than than before, and it's going to be pretty harder. But the journey is going to be exciting because I'm going to be graduating, and that's with associates, and I just cannot wait. So that's about it, guys, and I'll hopefully post some stuff as soon as possible. So I will see you guys later, and I will post some stuff, updates about my recital and stuff like that. And actually, I will be having my cousin hopefully film the whole recital, so that's why everyone could hear, because some may make it and some may not make it. For example, my friend in Low Tokyo, that I knew since I was a little, just a little child, she won't be able to make it because it is on a Sunday and is in a noon, and some people work there. So in that case, I'm going to be filming my recital. So for those who are interested in looking, just stay tuned. So this is Gabby Sakura.